Good morning to all of you. It's early, it's like 7 something. And I'm in a I'm tired a little bit, but I didn't want to go back to bed. I knew I have too much to do. And it's not just like mandatory things, it's like stuff that I want to do, like spirit's calling me to it. And this video is one of them. I've got my candle here. I sell candles, all natural, beeswax and coconut oil, and then I scent them. Well, you can get unscented, but you can also get the scented versions. I use mostly all natural essential oils, but I can also scent them with whatever you want. Donna Naturals on Etsy. Anyway, I want to get to my message this morning because it was really cool. I randomly opened my book. My devotional book that I use is Tina Louise Spalding's A Year of Forgiveness, and it's based on the Course in Miracles textbook, which is a spiritual book. I mean, it's like a spiritual text. And I've been trying to follow the Course in Miracles work for years, on and off. I'm not always like on point with it. I mean, I get off track or whatever, and it's the reading of the actual text is kind of hard anyway. It's kind of like the Bible times 10. But so Tina Louise Spalding, she makes it easier to understand each of the lessons, and there's a whole year's worth of lessons, and you do one a day. I don't really do it. I feel more called. I don't think there's any wrong or right way to do anything. You just follow your heart and do what you need to do. But what I do is I'll just randomly open her book to one of the lessons, and then I'll read the A Course in Miracles text as well. But then but first I read her version because she breaks it down a little bit. And it's so good. And so I wanted to share with you guys the lesson that I turned to this morning, and then expand upon the idea, because I think it's a really good lesson. And it's one of the key elements to spiritual awakening and learning how to live a better quality of life. Not having so much toxicity and negativity in your life. Anyway, it's lesson 236 from the A Course in Miracles. I rule my mind, which I alone must rule. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. And she channels Jesus, so it's not just her breaking down the Course in Miracles. It's her channeling Jesus. And I know that might be a trigger point with some of you because you might not believe in channeling, but I do very strongly. I think we all channel. And so, and I've stated this in previous videos, that I do believe in her work very strongly. It resonates with me. It really helps me in my spiritual practice and in growing. And I think whatever helps you to grow spiritually and grow in love and grow in forgiveness and grow in non-judgment, I think whatever works for you is what you should follow. Because at the end of the day, we're all seeking peace. We're all seeking love. We're all seeking to be loved, to be heard, to have freedom. And so whatever helps us to do that is what is right for you. So that being said, I'm just going to read it. It's kind of short, but it's powerful. I rule my mind, which I alone must rule. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. Many beings think that the idea of surrendering to God's will is an act of passivity, and that it will make you a doormat. The opposite is true. You must decide with all of your being to dedicate your mind to love. And God is love. Therefore, so are you. This is a very, very simple principle. But when you think of all the trash you allow into your mind, and we don't even realize it, and all the negativities and the ruminations and the judgments you allow to course through it, you truly see that you are misusing your free will. You are misusing your mind. It is going to do whatever you direct it to do, because your mind is a tool. And one of the key points that I want to point out, point it out now, but I have notes, is that your mind is a tool, and that most of us allow our minds to run us instead of us running our minds. And that's a key point in the spiritual awakening process, is you realize you're not your mind. You are the spiritual, eternal, powerful being of light that uses the body as an expressive way in life. It uses the body as an expression to experience earthly life and to experience other beings, to learn. It's a learning playground, basically. And so when we really inhabit that space of being the witness and standing back, we can learn how to use our brain, our mind, slowly but surely, because it is a process, because we've been trained to think that we are our minds and that whatever pops into our head is what's true. But our mind is a tool, it's a tool. So I'll just keep reading. This is an act of discipline, and it is a profound act of faith to train your mind towards love so that you are in alignment. You will be guided to a destiny that reflects that frequency. I love that. You will, and I've felt that very strongly in the past few months with me. When you stop the judgments, when you stop the bickering in your mind and judging yourself and others, and like for me, okay, so I'm just going to go off some of my notes. I'm not done reading this text yet, but the thoughts keep popping up for me. When you start to be the witness, instead of the thought taking over you immediately when you think the thought, you automatically catch it, and you're like, okay, that's a thought that's unloving. That's a thought that is not of God. It's not of who I really am. And it releases you from the bondage of that feeling bad. And I still have a long ways to go in that. And I will my whole life. But it's getting a little bit easier day by day as I practice that witnessing mentality, allowing myself to control my mind instead of my mind controlling me, as like more of a robot mentality. I've got to finish this. This is an act of discipline, and it is a profound act of faith to train your mind towards love. I think I already read this. So that you are in alignment. You will be guided to a destiny that reflects that frequency. And I just love that so much. And I know that I'm being guided. I know with all of my heart that I'm being guided into the perfect right thing for me and all of you. As you align more with who you really are, you align more with love, you too will be guided very strongly into what you're called to do, who you're called to be around, even maybe new unions, new, whatever, a new place, moving or something. And I trust that process. I trust spirit with that entirely. Even if it's scary, it's still scary, because your ego wants predictability. Your ego wants to know always what's going on. But your spirit wants the freedom. Your spirit wants to experience and expand. If you are unhappy with your life and making choices that are unloving to yourself and other people, then you are not bringing your best to those you love. If you are happy, joyful, fulfilled, in alignment, unresisting, and dedicated to the amplification of your frequency, rising in frequency, right? You know, as you build on that love instead of out of the hate, judgments, fears, all beings around you will thrive. Most beings who are out of alignment are not very much fun to be around. True. I am that one that you know is Jesus, and we will speak to you tomorrow. I love that. It's just beautiful. And it's short and sweet, which I made it into a much longer thing, but I was trying to expand upon. I'm just looking through my notes to see if there's anything else I want to share. Other ways that will help with these unloving thoughts, and using your mind instead of letting your mind use you and control you. It's not just about the mental witnessing the mental activity, but it's also around taking care of the body. Another really big one is what we allow into our consciousness is what's going to feed our either our ego or our spirit. So it's really important to cut back on the media stuff, trashy kind of, you know, lower vibrational, like movies and stuff like that. Even a lot of the games, even a lot of the gaming and stuff like that is, you don't realize how you're being programmed. I mean, we think that violence is normal. We think that casual sex is normal, that, which there's no judgment around. I'm not judging the casual sex or the, you know, or whatever it is, you know, whatever, you know, whatever we're consuming while we're watching a movie or whether we're playing it out in our own lives. There's no right or wrong in God's eyes, and it shouldn't be in our minds. But if you want to step out of that pain, the pain of life, and into the freedom realms of spirit, and have that love and that peace and that joy and that harmony and the beautiful friendships, all of that stuff, you got to step out of that energy. You know, you got to step out of, you got to watch what goes in here, and so that you can clarify and purify what's in here. And so I've stated this in previous videos, but I'm really careful. I'm trying to be very careful about what I watch. I'm not even attracted to like violent films. I'm very much a romantic, so I watch a lot. If I do want to have a movie night, if it's appropriate for Chase to watch it, then I'll watch it with him. But if not, with him, I usually do more Disney stuff or like, you know, kid stuff. But for me, my own personal preference is like the romance films, because they are higher vibrational. They carry the love energies. And yes, there is violence in some of them. There is all that gory stuff in some of them, but at least there's like this theme of like love. And I'm just a big romantic at heart. That's one of my, I've always been that way, and I always will be that way. Yeah, taking care of the body, not allowing trash into the mind as much as you can, doing your spiritual practices, whatever that is, however that resonates for you. That can just be spending quiet time in a room. You don't have to read anything. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to do yoga. You just do what resonates for you, that is going to help you to become more aware of yourself, to grow, to embody that love that you really are. And so, yeah, I mean, my bottom line in this, the message in this video is allow yourself to start being the witness, and instead of the mind controlling you, you learning how to control your mind and the thoughts that run through it. You're still going to have the negative thoughts, but when you have the negative thought, you say, oh, that's a judgmental thought. That's an unloving thought. That is a attack thought upon one of God's children, or upon myself, you know? And the more you can do that, oh God, the better you'll feel, the more free you're going to feel. I can't stress that enough. Hey, baby. My dog, Athena. Anyway, I want to leave you with that. Please like and subscribe if you... I'm trying to grow my channel, and it's not working very well so far, but that's okay. That kind of stuff takes time, and I am just going with what my heart is telling me to do, sharing with whoever wants to hear my messages, and I'm trying to keep my ego out of it with, like, you know, it doesn't need to be about me. It's not about me. It's about helping others, and that's the whole point of coaching, in my opinion. But if you want to help me out, support me, like and subscribe, and and go to, if you like candles, it's candle season, kind of, it's fall, it's getting colder. If you like candles, go to Kdonna Naturals and get yourself a candle. And I love you guys very much, and I will talk soon. Bye.